Dr. Vanessa in APL term 1509. This is my week 3 reflection video. So this week we once again created Xcode projects. This time we utilized what we learned about adding UI elements. So I created some global variables for the colors. It was easier for me to do it this way. I've got my book title label, author, published label, summary label, my summary. I had to make this with 14 lines. I'm sure I could have done less, but it just looked nicer the more lines I added. Here is my array. Only because of the wording, I built the array this way. It says add the items to the array, so I wasn't sure if we were to start with an empty array and then add the items in. It wasn't really necessary, but I did it anyhow. I've got my empty string that will be filled with the array items. And I used a for in loop here with an if-else statement. I tried multiple approaches to building this loop, and this worked out the best for me. So we're gonna fill the empty string with the array items, which is thing in this case. And then for my logic, if the item is not the last one in the array, we're going to put a comma after the item, and otherwise we're going to put and before it. And then my label for the array, the list of items label, and then my label for the array here. So build this real quick. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but this is what I come out with. Not sure why my first array item is showing twice. I use the same loop for the storyboard label as well, and I had the same issue, so I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong there. I have to look into that. And then the storyboard. There's my storyboard. Like I said, I use the same loop. The IB outlet. I had to look around a little bit to figure this out. It's really simple in retrospect. I wasn't just 100% on how to set it up, but it worked out well. Build that real quick. Again, not the prettiest thing in the world. Let's see. Again, I have my first item in my array repeating. I guess I'll look into that. But so those are my 2 projects. What I think I could have done better, like I said, figuring out in that loop why my first array item is appearing twice. I'm not even 100% sure if that's the correct method of getting those items into the string there. If I should have used a different loop, but that just seemed the most logical for me. It made the most sense to me. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with this project. Compare creating the labels and colors in the storyboard. I honestly actually enjoyed creating them more in code. The storyboard is very simple, obviously, because you can actually see your progress without having to figure out how many pixels wide or high you should make something. You can actually see the project come along. But I feel it's almost a little bit lazy. It was almost too easy doing it that way. I'm sure with a lot more elements it would get a lot more complicated with the IB outlets and IB actions and all that stuff. But yeah, I think the code is more time consuming and can get a little bit frustrating, but I was happy to do it in code rather than to do it in the storyboard. It took me like 10 minutes to do it that way. So that's my week 3 review. I really enjoyed this project and getting to actually start putting some of the Swift code to use. And I'm looking forward to next week. Have a great night.